Kogo News Time, 5:41, and nearly one-third of all service members in the ongoing Afghanistan and Iraq conflicts suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, nearly one-third. And the complications are, unfortunately, addiction and suicide. Our veterans are more than twice as likely to commit suicide than civilians, and those rates are going up. In the Midwest, you have a place called the Puppy Jake Foundation. In the Northwest, Northwest Battle Buddies. And other groups are empowering combat veterans who have PTSD to get their freedom and independence back. Shannon Walker is the president of Northwest Battle Buddies. And Shannon, talk to me about your organization.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. We are a 501c3, and we provide professionally trained service dogs to combat veterans that have PTSD. And in the last almost 5 years, we have paired 38 service dogs with 38 of our American heroes. And it's an incredible thing to be a part of. It truly is life-changing watching how the veterans come in to meet their dogs and how they walk away with the confidence and the stability once they go through our 2-month intense training process. Of course, we provide dogs completely trained to them, but then they go through about 2 months of training, learning how to navigate life with their new service dogs.
How long does it take you, though, to train that dog up to the point where you help them with a specific vet's issues?
You know, it depends on the dog that we get. As a general rule, the minimum is about 7 months of training, which equates to about 350 hours. But if we do get the puppy, you know, if we do get donated from a breeder, a quality puppy, and that is raised, then, you know, we've got a year of investment in that dog also, making sure that it's prepared properly. So each dog is a case-by-case basis. But through the dogs that we get out of shelters, because we do work with dogs out of shelters that are at least 2 years, you know, they're not more than 2 years old and they're young and healthy. It takes about 7 months for those dogs. And like I said, it equates to about 350 hours of training.
So you've got that 350 hours of training, and then you have a vet who needs a service dog with a vet who has a specific issue. Can you kind of give us an example of someone you've been able to help and how you help train that dog specifically for that vet?
Well, you know, what we do is through the application process, I screen the applications and get some medical history as well as just physical disabilities that go along with the PTSD or the TBI. And so, as an example, if we have a veteran that comes in that is sight impaired also maybe on one side, like one of the veterans that I'm thinking of in my mind, he was blown up in a striker, so he actually lost one of his eyes. His dog walks on that side and acts as a social barrier and helps him navigate through, as well as just training the dog to go everywhere in public that it could possibly go, including airport security, malls, escalators, anything, you know, and even public transportation, how to handle crowd work and act as a social barrier, that type of thing. So what we do is it's not extremely extensive. If somebody was to come in with physical disabilities, like an amputee, however, such as blindness or balance, we can also teach the dogs to serve in those capacity as well as alleviating the symptoms of PTSD.
You know, Shannon, a lot of vets complain that the mental health care they get when they come back from war is not terribly good through the Veterans Administration. And what else can we do? I mean, what can we do as people to reach out to veterans with PTSD to help them?
You know, it starts with an attitude of, you know, never forgetting that these American heroes, you know, my dad served in the Korean War, and he said, you know, freedom is not free. I'm a free American, and I didn't have to do anything to earn it. And so for our veterans, when we seek out, a lot of the family members are the ones that seek us for their loved one, and they're the ones that reach out to us. So if you love your freedom and you love our American heroes, finding organizations that you can partner with and have like mind and heart, and finding out what the needs of that organization are. And, you know, we as an organization have many people across the United States that bring their gifts and talents to support our organization, and it's their way to give back and say, you know, thank you for your service in a very significant way. Just one thing about our organization is it is all private funding and fundraisers. And so people that love their freedom can partner with us, no matter where they're at, to help support us, to provide these life-saving gifts, because these dogs are provided 100% free to our American heroes.
That is awesome. Shannon Walker, she is the president of Northwest Battle Buddies. Shannon, thank you very much for everything that you've done for our veterans. We really appreciate it.